I'm Chef Frank. This is Doyle. He's my son. And today on Protocooks,
we're going to make instant ramen my way.
Excellent. So I know you're asking yourself, Chef Frank, instant ramen, what is he, crazy? He's doing a video about instant ramen. But I gotta tell you, my son is a college student and he eats a ton of instant ramen. And what we're gonna do today is we're gonna take that instant ramen and we're gonna make it into something that is better than just the packet. We're gonna talk about some ingredients that you can put into your pantry in your college dorm. And then I'm gonna bring my son on and he's gonna show us his extra special secret recipe on how to make instant ramen absolutely delicious. The first thing we're gonna do is talk about some ingredients you can stock in your dorm that's gonna make this ramen taste a little more like homemade ramen or ramen you'd get in a shop. Now, it's impossible to make really great ramen in your dorm room without your roommates wanting to kick you out. You'll need a big stock pot, you'll need to get some pork bones, some chicken bones, and they'll probably want to throw you out of the dorm after that. So the ingredients that we're looking at today are things that are just gonna make it better. It's just gonna give it some more flavor, give it some more body, and make it from a snack into a meal. Okay, so let's talk about those ingredients. Before we get into the ingredients, I want to talk about a few pieces of equipment you can have that will make this a lot easier, okay? So the first thing is a paring knife. It's just a small knife. It's a utility knife. It's something that you can use to cut anything. You can even open boxes with it. So it's probably a good thing to have in your room anyway, but this is a paring knife. Great thing to have. A small cutting board. We got these at IKEA. It was 3 for a couple of bucks. They were really cheap. And it's great to have a small cutting board too. We don't necessarily use this for everything in the ramen, but it's good for like the garnishes and maybe if you put some protein in your ramen, okay? A small pot, okay? Having a small pot, a lot of dorms will have small kitchens. Having a small pot is something you should have. Okay, let's talk about some things you can add. And these are some of my suggestions of things you can have in your dorm room that there are some perishable things. There's also some things that are non-perishable and will last a very long time. So the first thing I want to talk about is the fresh stuff, cilantro. Cilantro is one of these things that it's going to take, even if you just take this out of the package and cook it the way the package says, you add cilantro, it's so much better. Scallions. Scallions, you can buy a pack of these. They're probably $1, and you can use them for other stuff, but scallions will make your ramen like so much better. A tomato. Now, tomato seems kind of weird for ramen, but you can use tomatoes for sandwiches and stuff like that. If you happen to have cold cuts in your fridge, chopping a tomato up, putting in your ramen is great. Limes. Here's the thing about lime, right? This is extremely salty, or it has a lot of sodium content. If you add a little lime juice or a little vinegar to it, it brightens it up so much. So having a lime is a good thing. And maybe you can use limes for other things. I don't know, maybe a margarita. I'm not condoning that, by the way. Some of the other stuff we have is furikake. Furikake is a Japanese all-purpose seasoning. It has nori, which is seaweed, sesame seeds, and other flavors in there. Great. It is super shelf stable. It doesn't go bad. You can put this on rice too. Kimchi. I love kimchi. When you eat kimchi, everything smells like kimchi. So you got to be a little careful with this. This does need to be refrigerated, but a little kimchi in your ramen. Oh my gosh, so good. Curry powder. Curry powder is something that it just adds kind of another dimension, and you can use this for a lot of other things as well. Sambal paste, spicy, spicy, spicy. This is the close cousin of sriracha. So you can use sambal paste or you can use sriracha. Both of them are absolutely delicious. Give you a little heat, you know, especially if you're going into the winter months, a little bit of heat is going to make things good. Miso paste. Miso is just a fermented soybean paste. Delicious. Add some body and some texture to your soup as well. Of course, soy sauce. Soy sauce is high in sodium. This is high in sodium, but when you add soy sauce, it's going to add some depth to your soup. Fish sauce, not necessarily something that's really good on its own, but fish sauce just adds a little bit of like umami or a little bit of depth to your soup, and it's not good by itself. I guarantee you'll open this up and it won't be good, but fish sauce is a really good couple of dashes and it's great. This is something that I think is a must. Sesame oil. Sesame oil is really great for ramen, but it's also really good for so many other things. You can make vinaigrettes, marinades with it. We've been putting this in our tuna salad, and it blows me away. I love it. Here's another one. Gochujang. Gochujang is a Korean pepper paste. Not only adds a little body, a little sweetness, but it adds a little kick of heat. This stuff is great, and it lasts forever. And then, last but not least, these are fried onions. You can get these in any supermarket. This is kind of a fancy brand, but they have fried onions. You can get a can of fried onions. A little of this sprinkled over your soup not only adds some texture, but it adds a ton of flavor. And I promise you, fried onions are gonna make your ramen so much better. So let's do this. Let's go find my son. Let's have him show us how he makes his ramen. We're here with my son, Doyle.
Hello.
He's a college student, and he's been gracious enough to volunteer to show us his ramen recipe. So when did you come up with this recipe?
I think it was like in junior year of high school. I started having ramen like almost every other day, as unhealthy as that sounds. And eventually you eat ramen long enough, you get tired of just the basis. So then I started adding in like, okay, it's chicken ramen, and we have some leftover chicken from last night.
Yeah.
What if I add that in?
Yeah.
What if I add in, curry, paprika?
Yeah.
I started experimenting with it because salt and pepper weren't really doing it for me at that point. So now and eventually it just got more and more intricate as I've found more and more things that work and
it doesn't hurt that your dad is a chef and you have all this stuff in the house.
I have all this crazy stuff.
Exactly. So let's talk about what you have here.
1 egg, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, about 3 to 4 ounces of chicken, chopped scallions, 2 tablespoons of chili oil, 2 teaspoons of miso, 1 teaspoon of sesame seed oil, a drop of fish sauce, half a teaspoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of curry, 1 ramen packet, and 2 cups of water.
Okay, so show us how you do this. What's the first thing we do?
Well, the first thing we do is we start boiling the water.
Okay.
We have about 2 cups of water.
Okay, I'll take your our pot was a little hot to start with. It doesn't have to be hot. Okay. Cool. Just a quick question. While we're waiting for that water, can we do this in the microwave?
Yeah. There are some ingredients that won't play nice. Probably the egg is the biggest one. But, all the rest of this, as long as you stir it enough, it should work.
Okay, so we'll put some microwave directions down in the description just in case you don't have a pot, because we know that people in dorms, not everyone in dorms has a pot. Okay, so what's next?
So next, I like to add the soy sauce.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Next, we add the
chili oil?
Chili oil.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay.
I don't know why I'm blanking out on that.
I know.
And we also want to get a little bit of these.
We make the chili oil ourselves, so there's some like solids in there. So I'll put a recipe for that in the description as well. Okay. So then what do you got?
Then we add the curry.
Okay.
It's gonna float a bit. And
Okay.
Then the paprika.
Cool.
Then I like to add the miso because this is when we're going to need to start stirring.
Okay, cool. So we can start stirring now?
Yeah.
So you wait for the miso to be kind of broken up a little, or it just kind of melts away?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do we need this open?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You should open that.
Do you put the flavor pack in?
Yes.
Okay, can we put that in now? Or?
Yeah, we can.
Cool. So
I just want to get stirring.
there's the flavor pack. I'll give it a little shake for you.
You got to do that first.
Okay, cool.
And now...
you can just leave that in there, yeah. Flavor pack goes in. Yeah. That beautiful, bright yellow...
industrial orange, yellow...
flavor pack. Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, give me that. Cool.
Sorry. Okay, so now we add the sesame seed oil.
Yeah.
Add it in there, stir.
Cool.
Now the fish... Now this is the fish sauce. Now you don't want to add too much.
Okay.
It's very pungent.
It's very strong, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what about the rest of the stuff? The egg is going to go in later. The scallions are garnished. I'm going to put them aside for now. So what else do you want to do?
So we're going to add the noodles now.
Okay. I'll give you the noodles. You want to plop them in?
You don't want to make too much of a show of it. It's just, you know.
Okay, but you get all the noodles in, right?
Yeah, you get all the noodles in.
Cool. And we just wait for it to come through a boil, or?
Yeah, we wait for the noodles to get soft.
Okay.
But we can add the chicken now.
Okay, cool. So it gets hot, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And because you know what you want to do is like the best thing for the chicken is when it starts breaking apart and it becomes a part of the noodles.
Oh, it helps like thicken it a little.
Yeah, because it helps thicken it, and it's also just good because you get more chicken out of every bite.
I kind of feel like if you buy a chicken or buy a roast chicken, especially if you have roommates, you can take that chicken, make ramen with it. You can make chicken salad with it. You can make chicken sandwiches with it. So our grocery store sells rotisserie chickens, and that's where we got this from. And I think it's spectacular for this because it takes the ramen, and I might have said it earlier, from a snack to kind of a meal. Okay, good. We're boiling. Put that like that.
Oh boy.
So you want to lower it, or is that good?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna lower it because I've had ramen like fizz up on me.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like kind of like what's happening right now.
Okay, so we can lower it a little more.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, now you so after, you know, once the so you want to occasionally just poke the brick.
Because what do you got to do when you poke it? You're
taking it apart. Also, you want to like kind of like, you know, do a bit of cutting.
okay. So the noodles aren't super long.
So the noodles aren't super long, so you can get like good spoonfuls.
Ah, okay. So instead of having like long noodles like you would in a ramen store, breaking it up a little, it's just easier to eat.
Yeah, it's just easier to eat.
So it's always that way with the teenagers. It's like, okay, let's get it in my mouth as fast as possible.
Well, yeah, it's not too much time.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Do we still need to lower it? Is it still too high?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Here, give me a hand. Stay closer to me, okay?
I know that.
You're leaving, so you got to get close. I don't know. I know that I need to brush my teeth, but...
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to lower it just a little more, I think, right? Yeah. We'll leave it at like 2.
Because we got to add the egg.
Yeah, because I think if we add the egg there, it's going to get busted up, right?
Yeah.
So there's a couple of ways you can do the egg, and Doyle has a funny reason why he...
why I add the egg in the shell.
Yeah, so we're going to poach the egg in just by cracking it, but you can add the egg in the shell and just drop it in there and cook it for 4 to 6 minutes, and then you peel it off and you have a soft boiled egg. And why do you like that by adding it like that?
I remember some story. I don't know. You know, the internet. There's always like 1,000 different stories about, you know, famous people. But apparently Einstein once said that you know, besides the smartest thing he ever came up with in his life, and this is ahead of, you know, all the groundbreaking
theory of relativity and blah blah blah.
All that work. He said it was when he realized he could put eggs into when he was boiling soup. He could put the eggs into the soup and then fish them out, and he would have hard-boiled eggs and soup, and wouldn't have to clean the pot twice.
Oh, that's genius, right? He was truly a genius.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna crack this into the bowl, and we'll drop it in like we're poaching it. I think this is a little easier than having to peel the egg after it's cooked. We're simmering away, okay? And then I'm just gonna go, the noodles are probably about halfway cooked, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna drop this in, and we'll let it cook, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So we'll just let it simmer away, right? And then once it's ready, I guess it's ready when the egg is cooked.
Yeah, okay, I think it's ready, so I think we should plate it up now.
Cool, let's go. So now we plate it.
Yeah.
So is this fancier plating than you would have in college, or would you just eat it out of the pot?
I would eat it out of a mug.
So you have an extra large mug that you'd eat the soup out of?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Here we have the poached egg.
Okay, the poached egg goes in with the noodles.
It's got some noodles in it.
Okay, drop it in there before it splashes all over. Okay, cool. And we drop the poached egg. It's still nice and soft.
Yeah.
And then what do you do?
Now we pour the soup over it.
Yeah. Nice.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. We're going to dribble.
Oh, look, no, it's still whole.
Oh, that's great. Oh, we were really worried that the yolk would be overcooked, and we really like the yolk to be soft. Okay, now what?
Now we just let the noodles go in.
Noodles, a little bit of chicken there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta...
This looks like professional ramen, not ramen out of a package. Okay.
You want to also you want to go in and scrape off the chicken for valuable protein during the winter months.
Everyone needs valuable protein when they are in their college dorm. Okay, put that down. What else?
Then we add the scallions on top.
And the scallions add what?
They're they're an oniony taste, a bit of crunch.
Cool.
You know.
Okay, good. So, are we ready to try it?
Yeah.
We of course have fancy bowls and fancy ramen spoons because we're fancy. We're gonna eat it with our pinky up. Okay. So, do you want to crack the yolk? Do you want to have the honor of cracking the yolk?
No, you do.
Okay.
You're the guest.
So here we go. Look at that egg, right? And you crack that yolk. Oh my gosh. So now we've put chicken in this. We've put a bunch of ingredients in to make this like from just kind of like, oh, I'm going to eat this kind of...
I'm going to eat this.
Not so great soup into...
I'm going to eat this because I need fuel.
Yeah. And now it's like this beautiful, luxurious thing. Okay, so let's taste. You got some? I'm just going to taste the broth because I know what the noodles taste like already. Oh, man.
Oh.
That is so good.
Oh, wow, that's really good.
You surprised yourself? Like, this is your thing, man.
Honestly, I thought I screwed this up.
So, this has some spice. It's got some seasoning to it.
Yeah.
But the egg in there just kind of like gives it some body. It's delicious. Now, I'm not going to say it's ramen shop ramen. I know I was joking about that, but...
It would be an insult.
It might be an insult. But for the most part, it's taken this ramen packet and made it into something that's so much better with not a lot of effort, right?
Yeah,
like,
no.
Now, my question is this. Could you do something like this in your dorm?
I mean, probably. You could definitely do the broth. It's easy to store this stuff, the greens. The egg is the only issue.
The egg is the hard one, right?
Yeah, because unless there is ways to cook eggs in a microwave that isn't very disgusting.
It's kind of hard, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you could put a hard-boiled egg in, huh?
Yeah,
that might be good.
They sell hard-boiled eggs at a lot of the kiosks in.
Oh, so you can get them at the yeah. So that's how Doyle makes his instant ramen that much better. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for showing me how you make your instant ramen. I really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure.
I really have to thank Doyle a lot because he's been behind the scenes all summer, just kind of watching the process. So I decided I wanted to bring him in, show this beautiful boy off, and show you what he does in the kitchen. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, hit the little bell so you know when we have new videos out. We try and do once a week. The best we can. We also have merch, Need Salt t-shirts. The link is in the description down below. We now have a Patreon account. I want to thank everyone who's signed up and helped support us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You let us do what we love doing, and that's making videos about food. I will link everything in the description, all the ingredients. I will put a recipe for the chili oil, and I'll put a recipe for how to do this in the microwave down in the description. I'm Chef Frank.
I'm Doyle.
This is Protocooks. Thanks for watching.